Alright guys, how you all doing? Back with a quick video today. So I wanted to touch on a question that I get a lot. And guys, I mean a lot. I get this question a lot. I can't even explain to you how much I get this question. The question is something that I was actually concerned about back in the day before I got this beast on my wall. That question was, Joe, do you think that you will max out, or do you think I, whoever's asking me the question, will max out on Tonal if I spend all this money on Tonal? Am I going to max out on this thing because it's only got 200 pounds worth of weight on it? So that is a super good question to ask. You do not want to be spending all the money for this machine and then maxing out. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a bodybuilder, if you're benching like 400 pounds, if you're squatting, 500 pounds, 400 pounds, guys, you don't want this machine. In my opinion, you don't want it. Now, will this machine benefit people of that type of training who are bodybuilders? Yes. In my opinion, yes, they will benefit from it. But I don't know if the benefit would be worth the amount of money that they're going to spend. Now, let's get to the regular guy and girl like I am. I'm a regular dude. I'm using this machine. Do I think that I'm going to ever max out on this machine? Well, hopefully I will. Hopefully I will. But I can tell you that I do not see that anywhere in the near future for me. This machine has 200 pounds of digital weight. Now, digital weight, as you guys know if you watch my videos, digital weight is much heavier than regular weight. Now, that might be for two reasons. One reason I know for sure why it's heavier is there's no momentum in digital weight. So you can't force up digital weight like you can with regular weight. So if you have, I don't know, what am I going to, this barbell right here, okay, let's pretend this is a barbell. If you have a barbell right here, you can go like this with the barbell. If you're trying to get this up, let's say this weighs a lot. Let's say this is really heavy. This is 70 pounds, right? And I'm over here trying to pick up the 70 pounds. I could be like this. I could like move it with the momentum. I could use gravity to my, to my advantage. If I'm on the bench press, I don't know why people do this, guys, to be honest. But and I'm not telling you guys to try this. But you got guys who are just, I think, in my opinion, nuts who. They take the bench when they're doing bench press. They'll take the bar and they'll bounce it off their chest and kind of like get it up. Guys, I think that's crazy. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to get at is digital weight, you can't do that stuff with. You're not going to be bouncing anything off your chest. You're not going to be muscling anything up, tossing it in the air, letting gravity help you. You're not going to do that. This is dead weight. So if a regular dumbbell that weighs 50 pounds, you can get up by muscling it up and using gravity to your advantage and using momentum like this. You know what I'm saying? If you could do that with a 50-pound dumbbell, I can almost guarantee you're going to have trouble with Tonal's 50 pounds. Because Tonal's 50 pounds is going to feel like double the weight. Simply because you're taking momentum out of the equation, okay? Now, I do believe also because Tonal's weight is so much heavier than regular weight, I do truly believe that they just calibrated their weight differently. I don't believe that it equals even close to what it's supposed to equal. I don't. So, guys, I'm telling you, if you lift 15 pounds of a dumbbell here and you're doing that just fine, you're going to really, really be trying to lift 15 pounds of Tonal's digital weight. You're going to be trying, and you're going to be like, I can't even believe the difference. If you trained on this machine, and you get accustomed to the weight on this machine, if you move to regular weights, regular plates, regular gym equipment, after training on this, that stuff's going to seem like a cakewalk. Guys, you're going to be blowing weight through the roof on regular weight systems when you compare it to Tonal, okay? So, that's the way Tonal's digital weight works. Another way, and that, back to the point, is a reason why I think you're going to have trouble maxing out on this, okay? Now, the next thing is Tonal's weights go up by 1 pound increments. Why is that important? it's important for two reasons. One, if you're increasing your weight by pound increments, rather than like 5 pounds here, 10 pounds here, 20 pounds here, just stacking weight. If you're doing it by 1 pound increments, it's going to take you longer than if you're just throwing on a whole bunch of weight. That's number one, okay? So obviously, if you're doing pound by pound, it's going to take you a lot longer, okay? That just makes sense. But the benefit, the huge benefit is, guys, when you get onto a machine, if you get onto a bench press in the gym, right? You're getting ready to do a bench press, and you're like, okay, I finally did 100 pounds of the bench press. I'm ready for 100. What am I going to put on? I've done 100. Maybe I'll do 120, or maybe I'll do 130. Let me just see what I can do. Guys, you can do that with Tonal too. You can overestimate your weight if you want. You can overestimate it. But at the end of the day, guys, by going up 1 pound increments on Tonal, by using the 1 pound increments, you are growing stronger and you are getting more muscle building capability. Because you are literally milking every single bit you can out of the 1 pound that you just increased. Your body is able to rip its fibers down to shreds off that 1 pound, rebuild, then rip off the next pound, and then rebuild on that, and then rip off the next pound, then rebuild on that. You're not doing that when you're just stacking weight at the gym. If you go from 50 pounds bench press to 100 pounds bench press in a matter of a couple weeks, you are literally missing out on a whole bunch of muscle building capability. You didn't do 1 pound increments. You are just throwing a whole bunch of weight onto your body. You're ripping yourself down, yeah. And you're going to build yourself back up, yeah. But you just missed out on a whole bunch of strength opportunities because your muscles are going to grow stronger when you grow slower. They're going to grow stronger. And they're going to grow less in size. You can have a really, really skinny dude do a 150-pound bench press for a few weeks. And is that really skinny dude going to be able to do it? Sure, he might be able to do it. But does it mean that he's going to be getting massive chest? No, not at all. Now, if you take that skinny dude and you have him take a 50-pound bench press and then increase it by increments, in the same amount of time that he spent using all that heavy weight, if he did it by 1 pound increments, he would be growing more muscle, all right? So that's another reason why I highly doubt anybody of any type of normal training, right? Any type of regular kind of training, not bodybuilding training, is going to max out on this. That's the second reason, okay? I hope all that made sense. If you need me to clarify further, because it can be confusing, let me know, and I'll do my best to discuss that in a later video or with you in any other way, okay? Because it can be confusing, but if you do research, you'll see that what I'm saying makes sense. Okay, the next thing that I want to discuss is the fact that you have dynamic weight modes on Tonal. Now, you guys are all familiar probably, if you watch these videos, with the weight modes that we have on here. You have chains mode, you have smart flex mode, and you have eccentric mode. My favorite is eccentric mode. Guys, oh, and you have standard mode. Okay? Let's not forget about standard mode because it needs to be mentioned because it is absolutely fantastic. Guys, the difference between these weight training methods, these weight training algorithms that this machine is able to give you, the difference that they cause in the way that it tears down and conditions your muscles, they off the bat give you so much more leeway when it comes to weight. Because, you know what? Let's do an experiment. Let me get this thing set up. I'm going to show you the differences in the weight modes. Real quick, we'll do a rep of each type, and then you're going to see the difference in how it is going to break down and condition your muscle. Guys, at the end of this, you're going to see what my end goal is with this is to show you how your muscles are going to be so tricked by Tonal's weight modes. so tricked. They're not going to know whether what's upright, left, down. They're not going to know because they're just going to be so confused by the time you're done. If you jump from eccentric mode to standard mode to smart flex mode to chains mode, what you're doing is you're messing with your muscle fibers and the way your body is conditioned to the point where your body has to relearn how to condition itself each time. So even if you were to max out on this machine on one mode, switch the mode. And if you switch the mode, now your body is going to have to relearn how to lift this weight. It might be the same weight that you're lifting, but it's going to have to relearn how to do it in that particular mode's algorithm. Does that make sense? Let's take a look. Maybe I can show you. I've never done this before. I actually didn't anticipate doing this, but it just came to me that it might be a good idea. So let me get this going. We'll take a look at the different way that the weights play with your muscles, and we'll take it. Like I said, I didn't actually anticipate doing this, so please forgive me. I'm not too warmed up, but I want to show you guys. What I'm trying to say. Maybe I can let Tonal do the talking instead of my big mouth. Maybe Tonal will be able to explain this stuff to you better than me, okay? So now let's take a look. We'll start from standard, and we'll work our way through. Right now, smart flex is off, eccentric is off, chains mode is off, and I have no spotter modes on. No spotter modes on, okay? Spotter modes, actually, the burnout mode is another thing you can mess with. So even if you were to max out on Tonal's weight, Tonal allows you to do something that you can't do with the gym or with a home gym. It allows you to continually drop weight as your muscles fatigue. So even if you maxed out and you're doing 200-pound bench press, let's see how many reps of 200-pound bench press you can do on burnout mode. That thing is going to have you breaking your body down even if you max this machine out. But anyway, so that is, we'll get into that too. I'll even show you that, okay? But let's start with the standard mode, okay? I'm going to keep it on relatively low weight because my muscles are super tired from yesterday. So I'll keep it on a pretty low weight. We got 25 pounds per arm right now. I'm just going to be using one arm. And we got a 12 rep goal. I'm not doing all 12 because I'm going to be staggering this, okay? Regular weight, here we go. This is 25 pounds. I haven't done standard mode in a minute. It's been a minute because I use eccentric mode all the time. But let me show you, standard mode is nothing to play around with. It's going to be heavier than what you lift if you're lifting standard 25 pounds. Guaranteed. All right, so here we go. 25 pounds. Turn that on. Let me use my right arm. My left arm's a little messed up right now. Okay, ready? Now you can see, this is not 25 pounds. I'm actually grunting a little bit. This is not 25 pounds. Okay, so you saw me lift to 25. Let's move on now. That was standard. Let's move to smart flex. What smart flex is going to do, now standard is regular, meaning you're getting normal concentric, normal eccentric operation of your muscle, okay? Smart flex is going to change it up to where it's giving me a perfect rep. So when it sees I struggle, it's going to lower the weight a little bit. When it sees that I am capable of handling more, it's going to up the weight. So it's giving you a perfect rep. This mode will perfect your training, especially if you also train in a gym or in contests. This thing is going to build you up so well. All right, you ready for this? Smart flex. This is the closest to standard mode out of all the weight modes, but it still has its advantages. You see? It sees what I'm capable of, and it causes me to have to work harder at certain times. So as I'm coming up, it sees I can work harder, it adds some more weight. Can regular weights do that? Absolutely not. So you're messing with your muscles. Your muscles need to adapt to this type of training. So can you see the difference between the standard and the Smart Flex? You see how much more I'm struggling? That's not because I've done more reps. That's because of the mode. The mode makes a huge difference in your training. Trust me. So if you're worried about maxing out, remember that you have these modes and they're going to stop you from maxing out because you have to recondition your muscle every time you start a new mode. So you can mix modes. You can do 6 months of this mode, 6 months of this mode. You can mix your training up however you want. At the end of the day, this makes a huge difference in the way you train. All right, let's move on. Taking Smart Flex off. Turning eccentric on. Best mode that this machine has, the whole machine is worth what it costs just for eccentric mode in my opinion. So we got 24 pounds base weight and we have 6 pounds eccentric, okay? So that means 24 pounds, nice easy 24 pounds coming up. And now it's going to drag me down with an extra 6 pounds on the back end, okay? You ready for this? Nice and easy coming up. After rep 2, it'll kick in. You see this? You see how it's messing with my muscles? This mode is insane. It's going to give you super easy on the concentric and super heavy on the eccentric. So just imagine doing what I've been doing. I've been training with eccentric mode on for months. And I've seen some major changes in my workout. If you were to switch up after doing 6 months of eccentric training to 6 months of chains, which is what we're going to do next, yo, you guys are going to be blowing your muscles' minds. They're going to be so confused. They're not even going to know what to do. They're going to be like, where am I? What earth am I on? What planet is this? I'm taking off eccentric mode now. I'm moving it to chains mode. What chains mode is, it's going to give me the opposite of eccentric mode. It's going to cause me to have to put extreme power at the beginning of my rep. At the beginning, not at the end, like with eccentric. So you need to force your muscles to learn and adapt. This is not something that happens easily. This is something that your body needs to take time to learn how to do. This is true training, guys. This isn't just working out. This isn't just regular exercise. This is training and conditioning. Okay? This machine was built for athletes. So when I tell you, guys, you are, number one, probably not maxing out on weight. And number two, if you do max out on weight, if you throw one of these modes into the mix, you're going to be starting from day one again, as far as your muscles are concerned, okay? You're going to be getting so much of a different type of training, it's going to blow your muscles' minds. All right, you ready? Here's chains. I'm scared of chains, to be honest with you. It's going to start up after rep 2. Here's rep 2. Okay. Super easy coming down, very hard to come up. This is embarrassing. All right, guys. Chains mode was 24 pounds base, but at its hardest, it was an extra 6 pounds. So that's 30 pounds altogether. 30 pounds altogether. Did you see the way I was just struggling with 30 pounds? You don't struggle with 30 pounds like that with a regular dumbbell. You don't. You really don't. Now keep in mind, again, I am so sore from the other day. But the point is, you can see the difference. You can see the differences in how my body has to react with each mode. And that's what I'm trying to explain. There's a huge difference, guys. If you haven't ever used this machine, I'm trying to give you the best idea of what these modes do so that you can have an idea of what they mean and what they represent and what they do to your body. Because I'm telling you, they're not just names. These are legitimate algorithms that mess with your weight, and they will cause you to need to reevaluate your training every time you throw a different mode on. Now you have taking chains off. I'm telling you, I'm scared of chains mode. It's crazy. Now I'm going to be putting on burnout mode. Now burnout mode, guys, burnout mode, I'm not going to be able to go too long with burnout mode because I'm already pretty tired. But with burnout mode, it basically, I'm just trying to show you what it does. The more tired you get, it lowers the weight by like as little as it needs to in order to help you keep going. So even if you are losing your mind because you maxed out on 200 pounds on this machine, 200 pounds digital weight, which really altogether, really honestly, is probably more like 300 pounds or something like that. If you maxed out on this machine, throw on eccentric mode. Guys, your mind's going to be blown. Your mind's going to be blown. Your muscles are going to be so, your fibers are going to be ripped down. It's going to be unbelievable. So right now we got burnout mode on. Okay, let's go back to this. It should be lowering the weight soon, I hope. It waits for the last minute. Alright, I'm struggling like crazy. Come on, Tonal, come on. You see how it lowered the weight? It lowered the weight enough for me to get another rep. Right now, the 12 pounds that I'm doing feels like 100 pounds. Because my muscles are so fatigued. So guys, this is why I do not believe that you will be burning out on, that you will be maxing out on this machine. I do not believe that any normal human being, any average dude, any average woman is going to be maxing out on this machine. You have 1 pound increments that milk every bit of strength training out of every single pound. You have all these modes that I just showed you that milk different aspects of your muscles' growth and conditioning. You have the weight that is so severely heavy when compared to normal weight. It is just insanely, it is just insane. So guys, I do not feel like you're going to max out on this stuff soon. I do not feel like this machine is going to be on your wall for no reason. And if you do max out on this machine, and you're able to handle all these modes, and all this different conditioning that this machine has to throw at you with ease, if you do that, you are not human. You are on some other, you're from some other planet, or you're taking some crazy kind of steroids that nobody's ever seen before. Guys, I'm telling you, this machine is so worth your time and money. If they came out with a 400-pound max machine tomorrow, I'll tell you what I would do. I would buy it just because I want the best. I would sell this one and then buy that one. But at the end of the day, I am nowhere near maxing out on this. And if I do max out on this, you know I'm bringing it to YouTube because I'm going to be showing you guys like, hey, listen, I maxed out on it. I've only had it for like a year. This is pointless for me. I'm going to be telling you. But guys, the fact that it goes up, the fact that all these things that I discussed, the reason why all these things that I've discussed with you are the reasons why I do not believe you will be maxing out anytime soon. It allows you to milk every ounce of potential out of your muscles. It allows that. This machine allows that. With regular weights, you can max out on 200 pounds in a matter of a few months. You can. You can with regular weights. Because you can just keep stacking weights, stacking plates. Your body is going to adapt. But it's not going to be it's not going to be milking every ounce of strength out of your muscle. It's not going to be conditioning the same way. It's not going to be as quality. That's the word. It's not going to be quality because your body is going to overcome and adapt on whatever it does. It's going to overcome and adapt. But is that the proper way to train? No, it's not. It's not. This has 1 pound increments. It has all these different factors of conditioning that your body needs. When you really use them, you see, wow, I am lacking. So it would not surprise me if a guy who was able to bench 200 pounds, right? Regular weight, came onto this machine, got onto this bench press, threw eccentric mode on or threw chains mode on, and he was like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. And he could not even do half the amount of reps that he normally can do. Would not surprise me, guys. Anyway, so I hope this was helpful. Remember, I'm not a doctor. I am not a coach. I am nobody, guys. This is my opinion. This is from my experience. And I hope that I was able to help. I hope I was able to give you some guidance. If your question is, Joe, I'm a normal person looking to pack on some muscle, looking to get into shape. Do you think Tonal is a good buy? Absolutely, guys. Tonal is a good buy. Absolutely. If you are a bodybuilder who is benching like 400 pounds and squatting 400 pounds, do I think you should buy a Tonal? I do not. If you were to buy a Tonal, do I think that it would benefit you? Absolutely. Because it's going to force your muscles into a way of conditioning that you've never experienced before with regular weights, and you never could. But it still might be too little of a weight for you. Okay, guys? So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you guys were able to use this. And if you have any other questions, let me know. Take care. Talk to you soon. Be safe.